Oh, go on YouTube. Bro, this is a very sad video to be honest. First of all, let me say rest in peace. Rest in peace. Bro, I've listened to his music before. And Loki, I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with it, to be honest. When I saw this news, bro, I was like, what are you talking about? Shit. I had to go and look up, bro, and I saw it and I was like, shit. That's crazy as hell. Bro, I literally listened to one of his music last week. Like I was listening to his music last week, bro. That's crazy, bro. But rest in peace.
And one number quietly hit the internet, and everything changed. Within minutes, group chats lit up, blogs started posting, and fans were asking the same question. Is this real?
Yeah,
Because the
bro.
timing
I
didn't
was
make
wondering.
sense. Lil Poppa had just dropped Out of Town Bay.
Bro, he literally just posted a music video on his page like 5 days ago, bro. That's crazy as hell.
Days earlier, he had shows on the calendar. His name was moving again online. And then, suddenly, he was gone. Multiple outlets report the Fulton County medical examiner confirmed Janarius Michael Wheeler, known as Lil Poppa, was pronounced deceased at 11:23 a.m. on February 18th.
R.I.P., bro.
The cause hasn't been released yet, and that single detail is exactly why this story has people spiraling. When there's a loud silence around the why, the internet fills it in with whatever it wants. But before we even touch the speculation, you need to understand why this hits different for Jacksonville, and why Poppa's music made people feel like he was talking directly to them. Because what he built wasn't just a fan base, it was a lifeline. And the next part explains why people are taking this so personally. If you weren't raised around Jacksonville energy, it's hard to explain. The city can feel like pressure 24/7, fast beefs, long memories, and a lot of pain that never gets spoken out loud. Poppa didn't run from that. He turned it into music that sounded like somebody reading their diary in real time. Fans connect with him because he didn't rap like he was invincible. He rapped like he was trying to survive the day without breaking. The stories were specific, the emotions were plain, and the delivery had that quiet, "I've seen too much" tone. That's why his supporters don't talk about him like a playlist artist. They talk about him like a friend. And that matters right now, because when an artist like that passes suddenly, it doesn't feel like celebrity news. It feels like your neighborhood lost a voice. But Poppa didn't just represent Jacksonville. He helped shape a lane that other artists started leaning into: melody, pain, and confession, without turning it into a gimmick. And once you hear how young he started, you understand why the rise happened so fast. Poppa's Under Investigation mixtape series wasn't just branding, it was a statement. I'm living through things the world only talks about after it's too late. He started releasing that series as a teenager, and it felt like each installment was him documenting life in real time. Losses, paranoia, loyalty tests, and those nights where your thoughts get louder than your phone. That's why his core fans swear he was one of the most honest voices in his generation.
Facts.
Songs like Love and War got replayed because they weren't built for clubs. They were built for headphones at 2 a.m. when you're trying to hold it together. Here's the key detail people skip. He wasn't just sad rap, he had structure. He knew how to make pain catchy without disrespecting it. That's a rare skill. And it's exactly why bigger eyes started watching him.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I was listening to a Kodak. I can't remember which Kodak, and then his music got recommended, and I listened to it, bro. And the first thing that I thought, this is the drill rod wave, bro. That was the first thing I thought, bro. This is a drill rod wave, or the more street rod wave version. Like that's the type of energy that he gives off in his music. To me personally, to me.
Because when you're that consistent, it stops being local talent. It becomes industry target. And that leads directly to the move that changed his life, and maybe increased the pressure too. When word got out that Yo Gotti's collective music group, CMG, signed Lil Poppa in partnership with Interscope, it wasn't just a cosign. It was proof that a Jacksonville artist could make it to the next level without turning into somebody else. On paper, it's the dream. Bigger budget, bigger platforms, bigger rooms, and a real machine behind you. But the part fans don't always see is what changes when you level up. Expectations get louder. Private problems get harder to hide. Every new move turns into a headline. Every silence turns into a rumor. And every mistake feels like it costs double.
It's crazy,
Poppa's
bro.
music didn't suddenly get fake
It's
after the
crazy.
deal. If anything, it got sharper. He sounded like somebody trying to keep his feet planted while the world is pulling him in 10 directions. And if you look at the timing of his projects after that, you can see him trying to find balance between pain and progress, between street reality and industry reality. But the next chapter is where it starts to feel eerie in hindsight. In August 2025, Poppa dropped Almost Normal Again. Even before all this happened, that title made people pause, because it sounds like a man who went through something heavy and was trying to convince himself he could finally breathe. The album pushed him forward, new collaborations, bigger touring moments, and more eyes on his name. Reports also noted he'd been on the road, including tour activity connected to Rod Wave. That matters because touring is a blessing, but it's also isolating. Different city every night, different energy, same thoughts traveling with you. Fans started saying the music felt more reflective, like he was looking at his life from the outside. Not in a fake I'm deep way. More like he was trying to make sense of why certain pain never leaves, even when things improve. And that's why the timing of his final release feels so sharp. Out of Town Bay dropped February 13th. Just days later, the news broke. But what happened between that drop and that 11/23 timestamp is where the story gets complicated. One reason this story spread so fast is because Poppa's online presence was already huge. His verified Instagram shows nearly 1 million followers, yet barely any posts. That kind of page creates mystery by itself.
True.
People project meaning onto every caption, every bio line, every silence. And the bio doesn't read like a normal industry page either. It reads like a final thought, almost poetic, almost cold. That's why, the moment the reports hit, fans immediately went searching for last signs, last song, last comment, last anything. There were also real-world plans still on the calendar. Outlets noted he was scheduled to perform in New Orleans in March. That detail makes the passing feel even more sudden, like the future was still being built, right up until it wasn't. Then, the streaming effect kicked in. When somebody passes, people don't just mourn.
They start
They
streaming
replay.
his music, bro. Yeah.
Lyrics hit harder. Old songs
Bro, because he's all over my timeline right now, bro. He's all over my timeline right now, bro. No cap.
feel like messages. And Poppa's catalog became the conversation again. But in the middle of all that grief, something else happened. The rumor machine started moving faster than the facts. And what people began claiming next is exactly why we have to slow down for a second. Let's separate the solid facts from the noise. Multiple reports say the Fulton County medical examiner confirmed he was pronounced deceased at 11:23 a.m. in Georgia. Those same reports say the cause of death has not been released yet. That's the official lane. Period. Everything beyond that, every I heard, every screenshot, every anonymous insider has to be treated as unverified until investigators speak.
Exactly, bro. Because I saw like a few different headlines, bro. I heard he OD'd. I heard it was some gang related shit. Bro, I heard so many things, bro. I heard so many things. And it's crazy. Because like he said, nobody really know what happened. You see me? But it's all speculating, all he say, she say, oh, we heard this, we heard that. Nobody really knows what happened, bro.
Some online posts have suggested different possibilities, including claims about self-harm. Right now, those are not confirmed by any official report, and repeating them like facts helps nobody.
Exactly.
Here's the mid-video turn people don't expect. The mystery isn't just what happened. The bigger question is how quickly public narratives get written before a family even gets to breathe. That's the ugly side of the internet. It can turn real grief into content in minutes. So if you're watching this and you actually respect the artist, the move is simple. Stay on the facts, honor the music, and leave space for the truth to come out. Now, with that said, there's still a timeline we can build using only what's been publicly reported. And when you line it up, the timing feels almost impossible because the next chapter is the final 72 hours and the details are chilling even without speculation. Think about the pace. February 13th, a new single hits. Within days, tributes are already flooding social media and people are replaying old lyrics like they're coded messages. That's not normal timing. That's a fast cut in the middle of momentum. Reports indicate he was in the Fulton County area when he passed. That's Atlanta territory, industry territory, where artists move around for shows, meetings, videos, and business. And that's what makes the silence so loud. We don't have the official what happened yet, but we do know he was in a place where a lot of things can happen quickly and privately. Fans are also circling his last public moments, not because they're being nosy, because they're trying to understand. When someone's music is built on vulnerability, supporters feel like they're supposed to catch the signs. And when they can't, they blame themselves or they blame the world. But here's the truth. Sometimes there are no signs that make sense from the outside. Still, there are a few clues in his
Fans are gonna try to just listen music and be like, oh, he was talking about this, or oh, he was going through this when he wrote this song, bro. Nobody really knows what happened, bro. Now everybody's gonna listen to music and try to decode lyrics and all that shit, bro. It makes no sense.
career that show what kind of pressure he carried, long before Atlanta entered the story. And that pressure shows up in one place more than anywhere: the lyrics people are reposting right now. After a loss like this, fans go back to the music like it's a diary with missing pages. The lines about exhaustion, paranoia, trust issues, and feeling numb get quoted everywhere. And suddenly songs that were once comfort become questions. This is where Poppa was different. He didn't hide the ugly feelings behind jokes. He didn't always wrap it up with a neat lesson. Sometimes he just said it straight and left you sitting with it. That honesty is why people call him a pain rap pioneer in his lane. He helped normalize a type of rap where emotional truth mattered as much as toughness. But there's another layer. Once an artist gets bigger, the world listens differently. Lyrics stop being art and start being clues. People act like they can solve someone's life like a puzzle. And that's dangerous, because it can rewrite a person into whatever narrative gets the most clicks. So here's the question we should be asking instead. What did Poppa's work do for people while he was here? Who did it help? Who did it influence? Because that's the legacy that survives headlines. And
Bro, I'm not gonna tell no lie. She's just doing a lot of rambling, bro. There's no real information on what happened because he doesn't know what happened. I don't know what happened, and you guys don't know what happened. But he's just talking. But I'm gonna just say this, bro. R.I.P. Lil Poppa. R.I.P. Lil Poppa, bro. Cause I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and act like, oh, yo, I've been bumping his music from day one. Nah, bro. I've only listened to two of his music, and I remember him because I was like, shit, this nigga sounds just like Rod Wave. You get me? So when I was scrolling and I saw this shit, I was like, what the fuck? I just listened to this guy the other day, bro. So it's kind of like, it's shocking. So I'm here trying to figure out what happened, but nobody knows, bro. Nobody knows. R.I.P. Lil Poppa. R.I.P. bro.